Hooty hoo, all my stock market gamblers. Welcome today. I'm Tall Mike. I'm so glad you're here. What do we got going on? Well, we still got the markets in this topping pattern, right? Now, my take is that this is the largest bubble in the history of the world, right? The largest stock market bubble that we have ever seen. And we're in the topping pattern of it. We're at the top of the bubble. Now, how it breaks is anyone's guess, right? It could come crashing down. Probably not my take. It could slowly grind lower. Probably what's going to happen. It could even move sideways for the next 10 years and just let inflation eat away at it. Now, a lot of people don't understand how dangerous inflation really is. And I mean, it is a big problem. And what exactly is inflation? Well, it's the printing of money, right? It's increasing the money supply, making it larger and larger and larger, making the money worth less and less and less. I mean, this is basic theft, right? It's a taxation, but it's basically theft, right? It's theft of your wages, theft of your purchasing power when you go buy something, theft of all the money you have saved. Now, if you saved in dollars, there's going to be a wealth transfer, right? It's going to be a wealth transfer. People don't really understand what it means when I say a wealth transfer. It means that people that are saving in dollars, all of your wealth is going to be transferred to the people that are saving in gold. Right now, we have a system that is very fragile. It's a very fragile system, right? It's their system. It's the fiat system, if you will. It's the printing of money system, if you will. And it makes the banks are very fragile also. I mean, the banks are going to come crashing down. We've already seen a few failures this year. There's going to be many, many more. Eventually, you're going to see the big names start to fail. And it's a big problem, right? Because if your money's in the bank, that's no longer your money, right? You signed it over to them. That's their money. They can bail that in, and they can give you shares of their bank when their bank is actually bankrupt, right? I mean, very interesting process they have. The advantage is to them. You have no advantage there. Now, when you hold your money in real wealth, in gold, in silver, that you take possession of, that you own outright, that there's no third-party risk, then you're doing okay for yourself. You see, what's happened is that they have used their powers, the political powers. Once again, politics is just a bunch of, poly means many, and ticks, of course, are blood-sucking creatures. So you got the many blood-sucking creatures, and they're sucking the life out of us. They're abusing us, right? They're abusing us with the printing of money, with this inflationary trend. And it's going to continue on. We're already at about $3 trillion on pace for an extra $3 trillion this year, right? This year added to the debt. By the time the Donald gets out, I keep saying it'll be about $50 trillion in debt. Put a 5% number on that for the rate of interest, because the rates are going higher, right? They're not going lower. They're actually going to be going higher. But Kevin Warsh is going to come in and reduce rates back to zero, and he may do that, right? On the short end, long end's going to continue to go higher. So 5% on 50 trillion, you're looking at $2.5 trillion. Take half of every dollar the government gets in taxes, and it goes just to pay the interest. They don't have anything to run the government on. So what do? Well, they got to print the money, and that's where we got to get rid of these people. We got to throw them out, right? We got to throw them out of office. If they can't balance the budget to where they can spend the amount of money they take in or less, because we have a lot of debt to pay down, we have to get rid of them, right? We have to get rid of them, and we have to get rid of the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is a big problem. They're the ones that keep printing the money, printing the money, printing the money. We got to take the power back, right? In the old days, when I used to grow up, they taught us that the government was there to serve the people. Doesn't work that way anymore. The government, we're their slaves, right? We serve the government in their slave system. Their slave system is the fiat system, right? And I mean, they want to keep us slaves for a long, long time. You can just look at the housing market, right? Okay, I'm a real estate broker, full disclosure, and a lot of this is very upsetting to me. A lot of this is very disturbing to me. Houses are unaffordable, right? The younger generation, they're priced out of houses. I mean, the average age of a first-time home buyer, right? right? It's over 40 years old now, right? Okay, used to be 28. Now you're talking 40. All right, but here's what they want to do. They want to give you a 50-year mortgage now, right? So you're 40 years old when you buy your first house. 50-year mortgage, you're going to have that house paid off when you're in your 90s, right? I mean, this is just wrong. Now, they want to keep the houses priced high, right? And the Donald agrees with this. See, the whole reason that the houses are unaffordable, that they're priced high, is the Federal Reserve kept interest rates at 0% for so many years, right? 16 years at 0% when they shouldn't be down there. Held them artificially low. But what they do is they do some other things to keep the prices high, right? Okay, what about Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac? They guarantee the mortgages, right? 80% of mortgages are guaranteed by the government, right? This keeps the rates lower, keeps the house prices higher. Very sad, right? Okay, now what do they let you do with your mortgage expense? What do they let you do? They let you deduct that, right? Deduct that from your income. Do they let you deduct the rent from your income? No, they don't let you deduct your rent from your income, but they let you deduct your mortgage from your income. Why do they do that? It keeps prices higher on the houses, right? It keeps the house price high. They want to keep it high. Now, what else do they do? Well, they bought $3 trillion of mortgages, right? They don't just guarantee the mortgages, all 80% of them guaranteed by the government. They bought $3 trillion of them, right? To keep the rates low, to keep the prices high. They got to keep those prices high because that's where the property tax comes from. That's where they can make you their slave, right? They make you their slave by giving you the 50-year mortgage on this overpriced house, right? I mean, without the government's intervention, house prices would be down 60 to 70% from where they are right now. But the government's got to keep them up here, right? And they're going to do that. They're going to do that with the printing of money. Once again, the government is not your friend. The government wants you in their slave system. They want you to pay your mortgage for 50 years with their fiat dollars, right? With their fiat currency. It's time for us to take our power back. We've been abused by the government long enough. Look at people my age. Look at the baby boomers, right? We paid into Social Security all our life. You young people, you're working hard so that us baby boomers can get our Social Security, because you know what the government did? They went and spent all that money. They stole it, right? It's outright theft on that format, right? I mean, they basically went, collected all the Social Security from us, and then used the money and have nothing to pay us with. This is going to become very obvious in the next 3 years because the Social Security is going to go bankrupt, right? Now, they're going to have to print a lot of money. I'm talking trillions and trillions, tens of trillions, 50 trillion, $100 trillion. And they're going to tack that onto the debt, right? They're going to keep you in their slave system. We have to get out of the system. Now, back when I was young, it just took one worker in the household to pay for the whole household, to have 2 new cars in the driveway, to have a decent house, right? To go on vacation once or twice a year. One worker, right? But the currency was backed by something real. It was backed by gold back then. That's why you could have that standard of living. But the government, they didn't want you to have that high standard of living. No, they want you in their slave system. They take you off the gold standard and they put you on the fiat system. And they have made you your slave over and over again. You are going to be their slave, right? It is a slave system. You have to get out of their system, get into God's system. God does not want you to be a slave. God wants you to be a free person, right? And you need money that is honest and anonymous, and that would be the gold and silver system. But my gold's so cheap, it keeps going down and down and down. This is a beautiful gift we're getting right now. You can do what you want. You can do what you want. You can stay in that Bitcoin stuff, right? That Bitcoin stuff. Now, this is just a public service announcement. I want to warn the people in the Bitcoin, right? In the Bitcoin, you're going to get really hurt. It's around $65,000. Let's just say it's going to go much lower. The reason is they're coming after Michael Saylor. They're coming after his companies companies. I actually feel a little bit sorry for him, right? Well, not that sorry, but anyways, you look at his companies, right? I mean, okay, his micro strategies, whatever it's called now, strategy, was 500. Now it's down to 100, right? 80% of the people's money wiped out. He's going to wipe out the last 20%. He did it in the dot-com bust, lost all his money, lost all his investors' money. He's going to do it again. But where you can tell they're coming after his company, the company's called Stretch, STRC, I think, H. What? Anyways, Stretch is the company, and you're coming after it. You can see that, right? So it was trading up here at $100, and Michael Saylor, he has to pay an 11.5% dividend, right? And he was coming after the boomers, after the retired people, and he's saying you can't make it in retirement. You have to get out of their system and put your money into my Stretch, and I'll pay you 11.5%. 11.5%. $100, he's paying 11.5% dividend. What's happened to the stock just in the last month? Down to $82, right? It went from 100 down to $82. You lost 18%. Don't worry though, he's paying you 11.5%. But the problem is Stretch is going to keep dropping, right? Going to keep dropping. When it drops 50% down to 50, you're going to have to be in there 5 years of Michael Saylor paying you 11.5% just to get your money back. Look, this is not a guarantee. He makes it sound like it's a guaranteed savings account backed by his Bitcoin, right? Well, his Bitcoin's going to go down, and I'm warning the Bitcoin people here because he's going to have to liquidate about 60 to 70 billion dollars worth of Bitcoin, which is going to send Bitcoin down below, I say, below 10 grand, right? I mean, he's the only buyer of Bitcoin, and now he's going to be the massive seller with zero buyers. Don't you be the bag holder here. Don't you be the buyer. Get out if you can, right? But okay, so Bitcoin is not the answer right now. Maybe later on when it's backed by gold. You're going to have crypto backed by gold. It's a stable coin backed by gold, right? I mean, they already have it. Tether has that. They have the stable coin backed by the bond market, and they have the stable coin backed by actual gold. Which one's going to be more valuable? Well, of course, the gold one's going to be the valuable one. But I don't trust the company Tether. They're in the Cayman Islands. I don't know if I can get my gold, so I'm definitely not recommending that. I'm just telling you that that's a lot stronger currency than any Bitcoin will ever be, right? So you're going to see the Bitcoin fall as they go after Michael Saylor's company. They're going after Stretch. They're knocking it lower and lower, and either he's got to suspend the dividend, say, I'm not going to pay you guys, and then it goes to zero, which is a possibility, right? Because he doesn't have the money to pay you guys anymore because he can't sell his stock of MicroStrategies because it went from 500 down to 100, and everybody's shooting for him now. This company's going to go under, right? It's going to go under. This Ponzi scheme going to come to an end. So be careful if you're in the crypto markets because they're going to go lower when Michael Saylor has to liquidate. This is just my opinion. If you believe in them, you can go out there and get a great return on your money. Not only you get to 11.5%, you get an extra 20%. So you're going to get like 33% or whatever, 31% on your money if it can survive. If it can survive. I don't think it can survive, and that's why it's paying about 30% return right now because it dropped 20% from 100s down to 80 something, right? And then he's paying 11.5. So you're looking at 30% return if you believe him. I don't believe him. I think he's a snake oil salesman. This is just my take. Your take's probably completely different. But this is the thing. You got to get out of their system. Inflation, they're abusing us. They're abusing us. If they can't balance the budget, we got to get rid of these people. We got to make the government start working for us. How do we do that? We do that with the quiet revolution, right? They're giving you a gift right now. They're giving you a gift with $4,000 gold. They're giving you a gift with $65 silver, right? Those are gifts that they're handing us. Maybe they come down lower. I hope they do, right? I mean, I love a gift that just keeps giving because I know the end game. I know who wins. I know it's not the fiat system. It's the gold system. It's the wealth transfer. You save in dollars. You're transferring your wealth into people that save in gold. Once again, this is just my take. You're Your take may be completely different. That's cool. Anyways, if you like this stuff, give me the thumbs up. Punch the subscribe button. Get out there, everybody. Have a great day, and we'll talk later in the week. Bye-bye now.